ever worked in a toxic workplace environment? And I understand a lot of this might have to stay anonymous or confidential, but it also doesn't have to, because I'm not gonna tell anyone. But just put it in the comments where it's public. Anyways, I actually want to hear about it. Leave it anonymous, whatever. I want to hear about it. I definitely have on more than one occasion, to be honest. I feel like we've all experienced that. Maybe it was just one person working there, or maybe it was just the overall, how the company was run. Very relatable. I feel like we've all been there at some point in time. And if you haven't, good for you. You're lucky. Cheers. Grab your beverage of choice. I got some water in my fancy new water bottle. It's focused on my face. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Cheers. I just bit my tongue. I just bit my tongue. Cheers. Ooh, I only have like 2 sips left. I might as well finish it, you guys. You know what? Look how hydrated I am. I might as well finish it. That was so ladylike of me. A few years ago, I took a marketing position in a UK-based company. After a brief training, I realized that I had to carry a wooden sign in a supermarket every day and stand there and promote various products. Oh, that could not be me. There was no specific time schedule. I could stay there as long as I wanted, so long as I reached my sales goals. At the end of the day, we would all gather at the company's offices. Our manager would step in while the speakers played the song Pretty Green Eyes at maximum volume, and then the show would begin. We would ring a bell and have a cheery round of applause for everyone who reached their goal. But what about those who had almost reached them? We would form a circle, and that person would stand in the middle and act like a chicken, because apparently they chickened out instead of hitting their targets. Oh, and if anyone's phone rang in the middle of this show, they would immediately have to do 10 push-ups. Okay, this sounds like some weird cult thing, okay? That's a bit much. So you didn't meet your sales goal, so let's all humiliate you and make you act like a chicken? No. Joined a small company just after the first lockdown ended. Very first weekend after I joined, the manager called me at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Do you have any plans today? I was getting married in a couple of months, so I had a lot of stuff to do on the weekends. He wanted me to disclose what all tasks I had and how much time would be required for each task, and if I can spare 2 to 3 hours for work. Declined to provide any details. This became a ritual for every Saturday. The usual taunts also started flowing. If you want to succeed in your career, you can't take rest on weekends. You have to work on holidays as well. I feel like so many of us have heard that before, where they're like, oh, you should be working after hours and on weekends if you want to succeed, if you want to get this amount of money. Don't even get me. I worked at a company where they had cameras, mics, and speakers installed all over the place, even in the kitchen. Cameras, mics, and speakers. If you spent 2 extra minutes at lunch, the wife of the business owner was screaming at you through the speakers. She would also get her manicures and pedicures in the office, ew, and afterwards asked employees to empty the bucket she used to soak her feet in. That would be it for me. That would be the lot. Nope. Even like thinking that I'm at my work, like desk, like, and someone's foot-soaked water is in the same room as me makes me want to throw up. Like, that's just something that shouldn't be in the workplace. I've had a manicure done, but like the environment. I'm sorry, who are you pronouncing every freaking, like that was so weird. I was like environment. I said everything. That was so weird. Forgive me for that. That was like wildly annoying. Anyways, this is illegal. All the cameras, mics, and speakers, pretty sure that's illegal. In my very first day job, I was hired as a PA to the CEO of a medical company. I had just completed my graduate degree in communications and was thrilled to find a job in what I thought looked like a decent company. They always start off looking decent. I was also told that I would take on marketing tasks. I couldn't wait to dive in. I started off working 6 hours per day for the minimum wage, but that was okay because I was going to be full-time in a couple of months and get a raise. Or so I thought. Yeah, that's what they all say. They just say that so you take the job and then, yeah. I never got a raise and I hardly did any marketing tasks. However, I did end up with a proper working bench, illegally boxing and shipping drugs to patients with long-term diseases. I found out later on that that company was actually laundering money for a big pharmaceutical company. This would make a great documentary. Some of y'all need to start writing it. Okay, we need some documentaries on there, and some of y'all have the material. I was working at a private school, and right before summer break, I informed the owner that I didn't want to renew my contract in September when school would be back in session. The owner was quite bitter about seeing me leave, but I reassured her that I'd prepare detailed manuals for all my job duties, and I'd clear up all school folders before my last day. Bless! And I did so. I also told her that she could contact me when the school opened again in case my replacement had any questions. I had no idea I would soon regret that. In September, as I expected, the owner of the school indeed called me with some questions. I had already organized everything so well that the questions were unnecessary, but I kindly replied to let her know where she could find the file she was looking for. But then the phone calls became more and more frequent. She would call me every day for the tiniest detail, and she would email me very long lists of questions she had. All of these were things that she could easily find on her own in just a few seconds, just by looking at my notes or doing a simple search on the computer. One day I didn't pick up the phone because I was at my new job, and she sent me a blunt text message. "Why don't you answer?" That's when I realized I should probably stop being so kind. See? You give an inch and they want a mile. That's how it always goes. See, being kind. They say that the nice guy always comes in last, or whatever the hell that's saying. Nice guys finish last. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, sometimes being too nice kind of backfires on. But at least you know you stayed true to yourself. You were a kind person. You did all you could, but I wouldn't feel bad being like, yo, I have moved on from that place. I did all I could to help you in that transition, but I'm at my new job now, and that's my past. Like, you gotta figure it out, girlfriend. Gotta figure it out. Ask another teacher. I was working as an intern at a nonprofit company where the operations and purpose were a bit shady. The owner, a former politician, now you have my attention, usually sat in his office, which had only a small glass window looking into the area where we were working. He asked me to create a list of investor companies in the United Arab Emirates, find a few economic problems that Serbia was facing, and then call the Serbian embassy to arrange a meeting with their financial director. This is a very serious job. I would want no part of this. I did everything he asked, wondering what that was all about. When the financial director agreed to come and meet him, he told me his plan. I was supposed to listen in on his meeting, and each time he mentioned Serbia, I would hold cards with the economic issues I had found in front of his office window so he could appear knowledgeable to the director. Or you could do your own research and knowledge and, you know, gain the knowledge yourself. But okay. When he mentioned something I didn't already have, I would Google it on the spot, write it on a new card, and hold it up like the others. He'd also tell the financial director that his company collaborated with all the Emirate investors in the list in order to earn her trust. I left his company shortly after. Yeah, what even is the company? Like, what was your job description when you got hired? I have so many questions. Years ago, I worked for a tech company that I loved. It's past tense. Let's not mess that up. To brag about how laid back and hip it was. We had the standard industry perks like snacks and drinks and a pool table in the kitchen. The CEO, convinced that employees were wasting time enjoying these benefits, installed a hidden camera in the kitchen and began sending out company-wide emails calling out individual employees for consuming more than their fair share of snacks or drinks or spending too much time at the pool table. Isn't that like so comical to me? I've been in a situation like that where those things were provided, like, oh dude, use as much as you want. It's for you to enjoy. It's to show my gratitude for your hard work. And then the minute you start doing what they told you to do, you're not working hard enough. You're taking advantage. You can't win. Just eat the freaking snacks. Eat the snacks. This is the most random thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, eat the snacks. Except one time I ate brownies. There were brownies on the counter at my friend's cottage, and I had a huge, massive piece of brownie. Okay, thinking it was a brownie. He's like, oh, yeah. You know, I thought they were brownies. Anyways, I ate a piece. Cottage owner comes back in and states they were special brownies. Yeah, it was one of the worst experiences. I laugh now, but at the time, awful. So maybe not always eat the snacks. Maybe ask what's in the snacks first. I was offered an administrative job at a real estate agency on a trial basis. During my 2 weeks there, I got zero training because the person doing the same job was reluctant to cooperate. The fact that the company decided to hire a second employee for that job meant that she would go from full-time to part-time employment, and for some reason she wanted to punish me for that. That's so awkward though. Also, on a regular basis, one of the co-founders kept asking me to make him coffee, and then the other co-founder would notice that I wasn't at my desk, so she'd call my internal phone demanding I return to my workstation. As a result, I kept running from the kitchen to my desk and vice versa, something I guess made me look like Charlie Chaplin. On top of that, my other colleagues would make prank phone calls on me multiple times per day. What is this place? Oh, did I also mention that this probation period was unpaid? Oh my God, so just say that you volunteered and did charity work. What do you mean? This isn't a job. You weren't even offered a job. They're just testing you out. You're just writing a test. What do you mean? Do jobs even do that anymore? Is that still a thing? That whole like trial where you like, that can't be. Who has the time and the opportunity to work for free for 2 weeks? I feel for everyone out there who works a full-time job. Having a full-time job isn't even enough half the time to pay your bills. Maybe you can tell that I'm tired because I'm also working a full-time job now. Yes, your girl signed on to another season at a new production company, and I have to work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and I'm very tired.
A mirthless chuckle.
Because I'm doing all this too. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will keep showing up. Because you show up. You know, before we get into the next one, PSA, public service announcement, just a little life detail. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of questions about me saying that I work full-time job. People are going to be like, what? What do you mean? Where do you work? Okay, real quick. I work for a production company here in Toronto. I just got hired about 2 weeks ago, which is very exciting because I was applying for some work for a while, you know, just to help with the stability of finances, because content creating, y'all know. Well, maybe you don't know, but it's a freaking ride, okay? So anyways, I applied, I got the job. So I do visuals for TV shows and documentaries and stuff like that. I handle visual research and things like that, which is really exciting because I love documentaries and those kinds of TV series. So getting to work behind the scenes in film is really interesting for me since I like being in front of the camera. Anyways, so that is what I am doing. So I just signed on to a show. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. But I will be doing that until like January of next year. So anyways, back to biz. Moved to this company while negotiating salary. They agreed for I don't know how to say that, y'all. More than the salary first they came up with. But they told me they'll give the updated offer letter 1 week before joining. I was new to this industry and believed them. 1 week before joining, they told me they won't be able to give it anyway. I joined. After joining, I realized ESPP benefits will be available to employees only after 2 years of service. HR had mentioned it would be available from first month itself, so they lied. HR was shouting at everyone during orientation. I don't know why. Overall, I had a terrible first day. After joining, I realized the team was full of misogynists. I said that a little weird. There were many jokes about my outfits and weight. Yeah, no, you're not working there. Decided this work culture is not working for me and started interviewing and put down paper within a month. This work culture is not for you. Yeah, being bullied, not for me. And it shouldn't be for anybody. I wonder what's the worst? When HR, the people who are supposed to, you're supposed to go to HR with your problems when people are commenting about your outfits and weights, but HR is the one maybe yelling at everyone and being the bully themselves. Isn't that great? Phenomenal. That's like my favorite part. The boss was an extremely narcissistic and toxic woman. Not only was she the boss, but also the owner of the company. It was a small-sized company in a corner of Germany. It also didn't help that I was the only person of color in that organization. This woman always micromanaged to the point that she used to herself replace the batteries in the office mouse/keyboards. Anything and everything an employee did was a mistake and deserved some form of remark/comments from her side. She was on the verge of getting me fired because I'm obese. What? She accused me of bringing garlic-laden foods to the office for lunch, even though I didn't. But what if you did? Owing to the fact that I'm an Indian. She was someone who focused solely on appearance, including that of herself, her office, her employees, her shiny sports car, etc. So much so that she used to hire the window cleaning company every month to clean windows, which is quite unusual to do it that often. Even a chair couldn't be moved in the office without having her permission. Oh my gosh. There was absolutely no trust with her employees and no scope for growth of any kind. She was doing quite well in the business because she was the only one offering technical services in that particular field. She treated every employee differently in that she wasn't fair to all. I had had enough of her tight assery, I've never heard of that, in 1 year, called it quits, and changed cities altogether. Best decision I ever made. See, that's too much control, okay? I understand being a perfectionist, liking a certain aesthetic and cleanliness, and liking a certain structure for your business, but that is too much. That would push anyone over the edge. That would drive me absolutely nuts. All right, guys, I feel like I talked about a lot of random things in this video, like something led to edibles. So I'm so sorry. Mom, Dad, if you watch this, I'm sorry, okay? I'm tired. I'm out of here, you guys. Stay classy out there, stay sassy, and hey, don't always eat the snack without asking what's in it. See you tomorrow.